This is the Kevin Trudeau Show.
I am exposing the corruption in government and in major multinational corporations. We're telling you the things that they don't want you to know that will make your life better.
Welcome. Kevin Trudeau here, October 2nd. It's Wednesday. We're live. And I'm here. I'm not in an orange jumpsuit. I'm not in handcuffs. I'm not being strip searched and a lot of other crazy things that happened. We had a hearing yesterday. I'm going to give you a legal update on that. We have a great show today. You want to watch every minute of it. I got powerful things to share with you. First, the legal update. Yesterday's hearing, I'll tell you what, it was a miracle. I'm not kidding. My lawyer called me afterwards and he said he could not believe what happened. The government, it's like when the government was speaking, I'm looking at my lawyer going, who is this guy? It's like, it can't be the real Mr. Cohen. Who is this guy? He had a smile on his face. He told the judge everything's going well. We're working things out with Mr. Trudeau. I was in shock, absolute shock. The judge smiled. He was happy. My lawyer said, yes, we think we can work things out. He says, great, I'll give you another couple weeks. Let's get together again on the 18th of October, and hopefully you guys will have some good news and you'll have a settlement. And that was it. And then he told a funny story about golf clubs because he brought up a question about golf clubs. He's a big golfer, the judge was, and he saw that I purchased some golf clubs, and he thought that one of the companies purchased the golf clubs and called it a business expense, and he thought that was a little outrageous. And I had to clarify that no, because I golf with partners and Global Information Network members, and I'm working with a golf company with Hank Haney, who is Tiger Woods' coach. I showed you a picture of him and I together, and this company works with Sir Nick Faldo. I said, look, the government took my golf clubs away. I had to buy some new golf clubs, and I had to get decent clubs. But number one, I didn't spend that amount of money on the clubs. It was also lessons and golf balls and gloves and a rangefinder and trips to the driving range, etc. I go, but number two, the most important thing is, we told the judge was, I put all those charges on my credit card and I paid for it out of the money that I was allowed to keep, out of the $3,750 a month I'm allowed to keep and spend however I want. And that was huge. But the point is, the number of you who have gone to the KevinTrudeauFanClub.com website and have made one-time contributions in the last week made all the difference. And the number of you that became partners for the very first time in the last week made all the difference. And the number of you who got the Guru Kev books for $1,000, that made a difference. For those of you who gave money to the Legal Defense Fund, that made a difference. For those of you who purchased the money processes and the relationship processes, because remember, all this money goes to the government, it doesn't go to me. So all these sources of revenue, it all goes to the government, and the number of you in the last 7 days that really kicked it up made all the difference. And the number of partners, there were so many partners who increased their partnership level. It has made all the difference. And remember, we're trying to raise $1 million. We're about 1/3 of the way there. I got 2 more weeks. So for the next 2 weeks, we're putting out a major push because I'm going to be back in court now on the 18th, but I have to have all the documents in on the 14th. So I got 2 weeks to get as much as we can to see if we can make a deal and potentially bring this thing to a conclusion. Would that be a miracle? I mean, that came out of left field. This was not on anybody's radar screen because we thought this was going to be going on for years. And there'll still be a little residual thing, but all I can tell you is you have witnessed the manifesting technology that I teach in action. And it's turning out better than we could ever imagine. And it's really because of you. It really is. So we got 14 days. If you can go to KevinTrudeauFanClub.com, if you can make a one-time contribution, because the number of people that make one-time contributions and the number of one-time contributions, sometimes people make a one-time contribution today and then 2 days later and then 2 days later, that's good too. The amount of money that comes in is the most important thing because that's going to the government. If you want to take advantage of any of the offers that we have, like the Guru Keb books or the Golden Door 1 week with me or a one-on-one with me, all that money goes to the government. If you want to go to the Legal Defense Fund and help me with the lawyers, that's fine because they see that there's support. That still helps the cause. And if you want to purchase a money process or a relationship process, that's huge as well. So any of these things, and I don't know if we're going to put up, did we put up there's money processes at KevinTrudeau.com. If you want more information on that, you can come to Chicago. I take you to dinner. Or if you can't come to Chicago, we have scheduled money processes all over the world. So we'll have one very close to you. If you want one of the relationship processes, send us an email at relationships@KevinTrudeau.com and just say, I want more information. Megan will reach out to you. She's the event coordinator. She'll give you the schedule, the prices. You can pay with a credit card, a wire transfer, ACH, or a check or money order. All no problem. If you want to just make a straight donation or become a partner, go to KevinTrudeauFanClub.com. And you can see a lot of options there. You can get a one-on-one with me. You can get the Guru Keb book. You can make a one-time contribution. You can become a partner, or if you are a partner, you can upgrade. The next 14 days is going to tell the tale. It's going to tell the tale. And I'm excited. How about you? I hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling good as well. And here's the great thing about it is, remember, it's more blessed to give than to receive. And none of the money comes to me. It just basically helps me make a deal and negotiate a settlement. None of it comes to me. But the most important thing is you, the giver, are the beneficiary. Throughout my life, I have learned, as well as all of my wealthy friends, that when you give to help someone else in need, you get the majority of the benefits. This is a scriptural principle. It is more blessed to give than to receive. It is a scriptural principle. So this is not just an opportunity for me to settle this, which is clearly good for me, but it's really an opportunity for you. Hopefully it'll be the motivation for you to maybe, sell one of the TVs and contribute the money. Or to say to the family, let's cut down on some overheads this week or 2 weeks. And instead of going to Starbucks or do this, let's eat at home, rice and beans and some tuna fish. And let's give that extra $100 that we would have spent to Kevin to help. There's all these opportunities that you have to be blessed by the universe. Giving is a blessing. So, first off, thank you. I appreciate you. And I'll tell you what, I was just in amazement last night, in a good way, but also not amazed. Because I know, look, I'm an old guy, and I've been around a long time. And I've seen so many firsthand miracles in my life over and over again. I know this works. And not only have I seen it manifest in real life, I see the energy behind it. So I know everything's going to work well. It always just gives me joy and pleasure to see another real, tangible miracle. Something that should not happen, that's completely off the radar screen manifest in my life or somebody else's life. And when you give, when you go to KevinTrudeauFanClub.com and give or buy a money processor or a relationship process or do any of the things, you, the giver, can expect a miracle in your life. Get ready for your miracle. All right, we got a lot to cover today. You know, somebody said, well, is this good or bad news that you got in this hearing? Was that good or bad news, Kevin? I love that. Is it good news or bad news? Is it good news or bad news? Well, there was a great sage who was filmed discussing good or bad news, and I think it was absolutely brilliant. And we actually have this video clip of this great sage talking about bad news versus good news. And I think it'll teach you a very powerful lesson. Take a look at this.
Master! I have, it's very bad news.
Shifu. There is just news. There is no good or bad.
Master, your vision was right. Tai Lung has broken out of prison. He's on his way.
That is bad news. If you do not believe that the Dragon Warrior can stop him.
The panda? Master, that panda is not the Dragon Warrior. He wasn't even meant to be here. It was an accident.
There are no accidents.
Yes, I know. You've said that already. Twice.
Well, that was no accident either.
Thrice.
My old friend, the panda will never fulfill his destiny, nor you yours, until you let go of the illusion of control.
Illusion?
Yes. Look at this tree, Shifu. I cannot make it blossom when it suits me, nor make it bear fruit before its time.
But there are things we can't control. I can control when the fruit will fall. And I can control where to plant the seed. Hiya! That is no illusion, Master.
Ah, yes. But no matter what you do, that seed will grow to be a peach tree. You may wish for an apple or an orange, but you will get a peach.
But a peach cannot defeat Tai Lung.
Maybe it can, if you are willing to guide it, to nurture it, to believe in it.
But how? How? I need your help, Master.
No, you just need to believe. Promise me, Shifu. Promise me you will believe.
I will try.
Good. My time has come. You must continue your journey without me.
What are you... What? Master! You can't leave me!
You must believe.
Master!
You just got to believe. You should watch that clip over and over again. There's so many lessons. The illusion of control. There's no good or bad news, just news. You got to believe. You got to know that what you're doing is right. You got to know that everything is working out perfectly. There are no accidents. And when you're in that state, you're never anxious or stressful or worried. You're never fearful. Reach out on faith. Believe that what you're doing is right. And know that everything will be just perfect at the right, perfect time. That's a great clip. So why do I do this? I've been doing this for a long time. As you know, I was away on sabbatical called prison for over 8.5 years for not committing a crime, doing nothing wrong, being charged with contempt of court, not a felony, not a misdemeanor. It's called surgery-itis, a thing of its own. The crime was putting me in prison. Even the warden down there said, Kevin, we said, Mr. Trudeau, I've been in the prison system for over 30 years. I've seen tens of thousands of inmates, and you're the only one I can honestly say should not be here. Well, he was right. I shouldn't have, but I also should have been, because it was perfect for me to write the Science of Personal Mastery course, to get a complete clean slate, and come out revealing to everyone a little bit more than me being just the marketing guy and the marketing guru and the infomercial king and America's marketing genius and #1 New York Times bestselling author and all that stuff. Now you see a little bit more in depth. So it's all perfect. But one of the things I did that put me in there was expose things that they didn't want exposed. All throughout the world, people are being put in prison who speak the truth. And the government hates it. Julian Assange was effectively in prison for a decade because he was a journalist and practiced journalism. He got sourced information from a source and he published the truth. The truth. He said he pleaded guilty to journalism. That's all he said. Yes, I'm guilty of being a journalist. He printed the truth. That's never been questioned. But the U.S. government hated the fact that that truth pointed out that the U.S. government was committing crimes of lying to the American public for decades. That's why they wanted to kill him. The U.S. government wanted to have him executed. Not because he lied, but because he said the truth. He printed the truth. And the government hated it because that truth exposed the government for being criminals themselves and lying about it to the American people. More on that later. I've been exposing things for decades on the original Kevin Trudeau show. And, you know, we should even put some of those old shows up there because everything I said in there, we should even say, Kevin was right, Kevin was right, Kevin was right. We have to hire some editor to go through that. And I got a bunch of stuff here, and it just shows you what I've been saying for 10 years, 15 years, why I've been attacked so much, why the government hates me, because all these things are now coming out when I talked about them 15, 20, 25 years ago. U.S. public schools banned 10,000 books last year. I've been talking about book banning for decades. For decades. I said the government in the United States and around the world, they ban books. They don't want you to read books, just like they did in Nazi Germany where they burned books. They don't want you to know information. It's all about thought control. This article goes on. That goes in the Kevin Was Right file. Breast cancer rising among younger women at troubling rate. This article goes on to talk about all of the cancers, and breast cancer in particular, this article focuses on. The rates are going up and up and up. More people are getting cancer younger than ever before. This goes in the Kevin Was Right file. 20 years ago on my radio show, I said all the toxins in the water, in the book Natural Cures they don't want you to know about, I said the toxins in the water, the toxins in the food, the toxins in the packaging, the toxins in the air, the toxins in your clothing that you're putting on your skin, the toxins in the dish in the wash machine soap powder that gets into the clothes that you put on your skin, all the lotions, the toothpaste, the makeup, the shampoo. On and on, I said they're loaded with toxins. It's right in the book, 20 years ago, Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. And I said one of the problems with all these toxins is they cause cancer. And one of the things you're going to see in the next decade is that younger people and younger people and younger people are going to be coming with more and more and more and more cancers. Kevin was right. Here we go. Oh, more. Kevin was right file. Black colored plastic used in kitchen utensils and toys linked to toxic banned flame retardants. This goes on to say that this unbelievable amount of black plastic that has a banned substance in it in massive levels, and it's leaching into the food and into your body, causing hormonal imbalances and cancer. Takeout containers. If you get a takeout container and it's black, it's loaded with leaching poisonous chemicals and it's going into your food. Kitchen utensils, grocery meat and produce trays. It goes on to talk about black sushi trays. On and on and on. How all of these ingredients that are in all of these products are leaching into the food and in your body. Because it says the related article shows that it gets in your body. It says tiny shards of plastic are being found in brains and also in fatty tissue in the body like breast. Cancer, cancer, cancer. But the government lets the companies go right ahead. Somebody's watching right now going, he's doing the same thing that got him put in prison the first time. I'm ready. I'm reading articles. And is that a prisonable offense? Well, probably. Thousands of toxins from food packaging found in humans. Kevin was right, file. I said it 20 years ago, right in that book, Natural Cures. Where is that book? It's over there. Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. I said it 20 years ago. And I said it on my radio show. It's unbelievable. Everything I said was correct. And I got hammered by NBC. I got hammered by ABC. I got hammered by CNN. I got hammered by MSNBC. I got hammered by the New York Times. I got hammered by the Wall Street Journal. I got hammered by the London Times. I got hammered by everybody. How can you say that? I go, because it's true. And I showed them the research. Now it's so overwhelming that there's a couple journalists that actually published this. But have you seen any of these headlines in the mainstream media? They should be the number one topic. Not Ben Affleck and whoever he was dating's divorce. I mean, the topics, so when I scan some of the news feeds that are like number one, Jimmy Carter's 100th birthday. Okay, Jimmy, good. I'm glad you have a 100th birthday. But for 5 days in a row, it's like the lead story. But they don't say thousands of toxins from food packaging found in humans. And the toxins that are in your body are causing cancer. Let me tell you what else they cause. They cause depression. They cause stress and anxiety. They cause your brain to be operating in a beta brainwave frequency, which is the slave frequency, the poverty wave, because the government wants you a slave and poor. And it makes you a drone. It makes you easily manipulated. It makes you susceptible to the influence of other people, like you're in a trance. That's what these toxins do. In addition to giving you all these health problems, they're causing all these problems in terms of it's reducing your resistance, and it's reducing your ability to manifest goals, dreams, and desires. I was over a very wealthy person's house, and everything was served on china or glass. And I was looking for plastic. And you know, here's the goofy thing. Do you remember years ago, you used to go to the grocery store and you get your groceries and you used to put it in a paper bag. Do you remember the paper bags? Brown paper bags. You may not remember this, and I know Brian over there and Trey, you guys don't remember this. But in those days, when I went to the grocery store, there was somebody who actually put the groceries in the paper bag and then carried it to my car. They used to carry the groceries to your car. That's how it used to be. You used to have service. They didn't charge you for that. And you didn't have to tip the kid either. That was his job. But they used to have these paper bags, brown paper bags. I say used to because they're coming back, but here's the point of the story. Then the idiot environmentalist said, we have to save the trees. We have to save the trees. We can't be using paper bags because paper comes from trees. We need to save the trees. We need to use plastic bags. Let's use plastic bags because plastic will save the trees. And I was going, excuse me, you idiots. Plastic is toxic. The making of plastic is toxic. It's not biodegradable. It's not going to break down in the environment. You're causing a massive problem. No, we need to save the trees. And all you idiots went along with that stupidity, except me. When I would go to the grocery store, they'd say paper or plastic. I go, I don't want plastic around my food. I want paper bags. Oh, you're not saving the environment. I mean, that would be the checkout person. Like I go, I am saving the environment. Plastic is going to become the problem in the environment. It doesn't break down. A paper bag breaks down, reconstitutes. It's a natural product. So when I throw it away, it's going to break down. Plastic doesn't. It's going to stay around for 1 billion years. That's toxic. It's toxic. It's toxic. You don't want plastic. Plastic is bad. Well, guess what they're doing now? They realized that Kevin was right again. Now when you go to the grocery store, they give you paper because they don't want the plastic to go into the landfills and to destroy the environment. Do you understand? Okay. Next was Kevin was right file. Right out of the Natural Cures book. J&J, which is Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson files bankruptcy to advance $10 billion talc settlement. Do you remember this? Johnson's baby powder. Johnson's baby powder. It's off the market now. It has not been banned by the FDA because they're criminals. They're criminals at the FDA. They're criminals. Same thing at the FTC. They're criminals. Not everybody. There's a lot of good people there. And there's a lot of people that are doing a good job protecting our food and protecting us from people that are trying to rip us off. At both agencies, there's a lot of good people. And there are also a lot of criminals. I've met them. I know. I said in the book Natural Cures that talc, Johnson's baby powder, anybody who puts it on their body is a moron. And I say that not because you have low intelligence. It's because you are susceptible to the influence of advertising. You're not doing your research, you believe what you're being told, and you're a sucker. I've said it. I said, look, you're a sucker. Why are you putting talcum powder on? Don't you know it causes cancer? No, it can't cause cancer. It's approved by the FDA. I go, how many things have been taken off the market by the FDA? Approved by the FDA? I feel very comfortable. They approve something. Kids are born, with all these type of birth defects, and then they ban what they approved. And they can't get sued. They should be sued for criminal negligence. They either lied when they said it was safe and effective. Because see, when the FDA approves something, the FDA is saying, hi, we're the FDA, the Federal Food and Drug Administration. We are gods. We are experts. We know everything. And we want to protect you. Well, a past FDA commissioner said, no, the FDA is not protecting consumers. It's protecting the profits of the drug companies. Not the show. So the FDA approves talc and says it is, and when they approve it, this is what they're saying. They're saying this is approved, which means it's safe, has no side effects, causes no harm to the person, has no ill health effects. It's completely safe, just like drinking water. Just like drinking pure filtered water or pure spring water, it's safe. That's not going to cause any health problems. So when they approve something, they say it's safe. And we know it's safe because we have all the research proving it's safe. We also are telling you it's effective. However, when the FDA says something is safe and effective, how is it that 10 years later they pull it from the market because it has been determined that it's not safe and or not effective? So when the FDA said it was safe and effective, A, did they lie so that the companies could make a lot of profits? Yes. Or B, are they just stupid? In some cases, yes. But most of the time, they knowingly lie. They know it's not safe and they know it's not effective, but they're getting paid off by the pharmaceutical companies or the food companies so that they can make billions of dollars. And then those same people who approved it, saying it's safe and effective, their sons, daughters, and relatives get all these big positions at those companies for hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in no-show jobs. It's like the mob. That's how it works. Why do you think I went away to prison for 10 years? I'm telling you the truth. And I know because I've been in the rooms. I mean, I've been with these people making these deals. I mean, this is not something I know about, something I know. So this says Johnson & Johnson files bankruptcy because they're ordered to pay $10 billion, or it's a settlement, $10 billion because of talc, and because talc has caused so many deaths. And they knew it. Johnson & Johnson and the FDA knew that selling Johnson's baby powder to be used on babies would cause mental retardation, autism, cancer, depression, obesity in the children. And they said, who cares? You know how much money we can make? Oh, and why are they filing bankruptcy? Because they pulled all the profits out and it's in all these people's pockets. And so now the company is just going to file bankruptcy. But the people that ran it, they made billions. So they don't care. They're not filing bankruptcy. No person is charged. The company is charged. The people did the actions, but they're let off the hook. It's a complete rigged system. Kevin was right, file. This is a positive one. This is good. Okay, Kevin was right, file. It says if you invested $1,000 in Bitcoin when Jamie Dimon, you know Jamie Dimon is, he's JP Morgan Chase, I believe. He's the big chairman there. So he's like a genius. The guy's a genius when it comes to finances. It says if you invested $1,000 in Bitcoin when Jamie Dimon said he would fire employees in a second if they bought Bitcoin, here's how much you'd have today. So Jamie Dimon said that Bitcoin was a fraud, and if any of his employees were to buy any Bitcoin, they're so stupid that he would fire them in a minute. Well, when he made that statement, if you put $1,000 into Bitcoin, today you'd have $14,547.40. Who's the fool? What Jamie Dimon didn't tell you was at that same time when he was calling Bitcoin a fraud to keep the price down, him and his buddies via different companies and corporations were buying cryptocurrencies. This is a great article because I said, and I also said gold. There was a clip that we ran on a previous show when I was on the Alex Jones show, and I was talking about gold. And gold's at an all-time high. I am a psychic. I told you what was going to happen with gold. I told you what was going to happen with Bitcoin. I'm telling you now what's going to happen in other cryptocurrencies, the altcoins. Bitcoin and Ethereum are not where you're going to make huge money. It's in the altcoins. The alternative coins are going to go up 400%. Look, only about 5% of these coins are going to do anything. 95% of them, you'll lose all your money. But if you're invested with somebody that knows what they're doing, then potentially you could be making 1,000 or 2,000% return on your investment over a period of time. I mean, you could lose your money too, but look, I was right again. $1,000 becomes $14,547 in a relatively short period of time. Same thing when I told you about gold. I think you tripled your money. I think it's triple or times three, at least three. I think 3 times you would have made 3 times on your money if you invested in gold when I said, based on the price today. That's like a home run. By the way, if you want information on investing in crypto, send me an email and I'll send you the link. Do you have an email for the crypto, Trey?
We have it. I have to find it.
Okay, so find this email because people always ask me. And if you do
it's
want...
also in the description of the stream.
Okay, with the crypto, the
Yes.
email?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, but if you can find it, then put it up. And then I'll talk about it again because people always ask me, I don't know how to trade crypto. What can I do with crypto? I go, look, you can either get a newsletter from a guy that I know and trust that tells you what to buy and when to sell it. You can also put money into a crypto hedge fund and let experts trade it for you. But if you want more information on that, we're going to put up an email address here in a second. I'm not sure what that email is, but we're going to put that up in a sec. Okay. Kevin was right file. Federal court rules against the EPA in lawsuit over fluoride in the water. This basically says that there is so much fluoride in the water. And remember, fluoride in the water is illegal all over the world because everyone has determined that drinking fluoride is poison. It adversely affects the thyroid. It makes you fat. It makes you depressed. It messes up your hormones. And it causes a whole myriad of health problems. Low metabolism, increased weight, increased depression. Oh, drink some more tap water. Take a shower. Remember, your skin is the largest organ in the body. And whatever you put on it is absorbed into the body. So every time you take a shower in tap water that's coming out, unless you have it filtered, you're absorbing fluoride and the chlorine turns to gas. So you're virtually in a mini gas chamber, doing nothing good for your health. Then you wonder why everybody's sick. So this was right again. I pointed out that fluoride is bad, proven again. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, is doing nothing to protect the American people. It's protecting the profits of the big companies. This is what I exposed. Corporations and government working together against you. Okay. Kevin was right file. I said it on this show recently. I did something. Nancy Pelosi has a husband. Nancy Pelosi's husband is the world's greatest stock trader. He is an absolute psychic. He has virtually 100% success rate of buying a stock right before it goes up and selling it right before it goes down. He is absolutely a genius, and he says he doesn't get any inside information from his wife, Nancy, who used to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives and is one of the most politically connected people in America. He says, oh no, he doesn't talk to her about anything regarding stocks. He makes his own stock choices. But isn't it amazing that every time he buys a stock, it goes up, and when he sells it, right after he sells it, it crashes. Here's a headline. Nancy Pelosi's husband sold more than $500,000 in Visa stock right ahead of the DOJ action. So here's what happened. So Visa gets attacked and sued by the Department of Justice, and the Visa stock crashes. Right before the Department of Justice files the action, Nancy Pelosi's husband has like a psychic premonition. I feel that I think I should sell my Visa stock. I think it's time. So he sells the Visa stock, and like right after that, all of a sudden the Department of Justice sues Visa and the stock plummets. And you say, hey, did you get any inside information from your wife? I mean, or maybe somebody, a friend of yours at the Department of Justice said, hey, if you got any Visa stock, we're going to be suing them. Either short the stock, or if you got it, sell it. You didn't get any inside info, did you? This is stock trades by the spouse of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi draw attention again. This time over Visa. It goes on to say how he is the biggest genius on the planet. He is the greatest stock trader in the history of mankind. And he says he does it all on his own. These are just liars. Can't trust anybody in government. That's the point. The point of that is if a person is a politician, unfortunately, they're human, they're controlled, they're manipulated, they're doing what they can for themselves. They're not looking out for you, they're just looking out for themselves. You ever find that email yet? Or you're still searching? There it is. Thank you very much. Oh, so it's on an email.
Yeah, it's just a link.
It's a link. Okay. So if you want to invest money in cryptocurrency and you want information, there's a guy, he's in the Caymans, he'll talk to you on the phone, and he'll give you all the information. They'll set up a private conversation with you. But just go to kevintrudeau.com. What is that, /?
//
That's a / because it goes forward. Okay. So this way, forward. Crypto. And the link is also in the description. You can click on that. It'll take you to a page. You schedule a time, and you can get some more information. You don't have to, that's not choosing you're going to do anything, but if you want more free information, feel free to reach out. Okay. Now, this goes into Kevin Was Right file. Evidence of negative time found in quantum physics experiment. Basically, when you go through Your Wish is Your Command, which is my course on how to manifest goals, dreams, and desires, when you go through the Success Mastery course, especially at the higher levels, when you go through the Science of Personal Mastery course, which is the training that I received in the Brotherhood on how to use your mind to manipulate energy and matter, and when you go through the money processes or relationship processes, I talk about collapsing time. And so how I can go back in time or forward in time because time doesn't really exist. In this, usually I get a lot of head scratches. How can you do that? And I point out in quantum physics, it's true. There's just another experiment that points it out. Evidence of negative time found in quantum physics. And what this means is, it talks about how particles or waves can be in two places at the same time and not move in time. And it's befuddling physicists because they're saying effectively they're seeing matter go back in time. And they can't believe it. And they also see it go forward in time. Negative time would be back in time. So they're seeing time travel right in front of their eyes. And it basically proves that what I've said is absolutely true. The Kevin Was Right file. Another one, Kevin Was Right file. Stephen Jobs swore the 10-minute rule made him smarter, and modern neuroscience is discovering he was right. It should say, and Kevin Trudeau was right again. This basically says what I have said in Your Wish is Your Command. When you're struggling with making a decision, when you're struggling with anything, the solution is to go outside and go for a walk and look at things far away. It relaxes the brain, just like taking L-theanine or GABA, but better. It synchronizes the right and left brain hemisphere. It releases and secretes positive feeling endorphins and chemicals and hormones in the body. And it gets the brain out of beta and either into gamma or into alpha or even theta, which means you solve the problem and you reduce stress and you feel better, and it also helps you sleep at night. So this article just goes on to talk about this is something he did, and interestingly enough, it's something that wealthy people throughout the centuries have always done. When they're struggling with a problem, they go for a walk. And they look at things far away, and they're getting the negative ions from the air, especially if they're in an area near the water, where air is going over the water, producing negative ions, or if they're in a forest where the air is going through trees, producing a lot of negative ions. And that stimulates the brain to basically connect with the ether so you can come up with your solutions. Kevin was right, File. And by the way, going for a walk for 10 minutes and looking at things far away is one of the simplest ways to release depression. If you're ever feeling down or get a case of the blues, as my grandmother said. She goes, Kevin, everybody has a case of the blues from time to time. I go, well, what's the solution? She goes, get outside, go for a walk. Huh? True. This goes in the Kevin was right file. Harvard medical student. By the way, what I said back in the book Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About was I said eating high cholesterol foods does not increase cholesterol. So you're being lied to. You're being scammed. If you eat foods that are low in cholesterol but high in trans fats, your cholesterol levels will go up. But more important than that, the trans fats will scar the artery and the LDL cholesterol will attach itself and you'll develop arteriosclerosis. I'm going to do a whole show on that because you're being lied to and scammed. And if you're on Lipitor or any of the statins, you're an idiot. I shouldn't say that. I apologize, please. I apologize. Forgive me for calling you an idiot for following the advice of your doctor. Let me change it to, what can I change it to? Can't change it to moron. Can't change it to ignoramus. Can't change it to stupid. Can't change it to uninformed. Ignorant. Ignorant is the correct word. Find the definition of ignorant because I think ignorant is the correct word to describe. The word ignorant, I believe, actually is not a derogatory term in this case. I think it's going to refer to you accurately. I think. But we have our, here we go, ignorant. It says, lacking knowledge or awareness in general, uneducated or unsophisticated. Lacking knowledge, information, or awareness about a particular thing. They were ignorant of astronomy. That's what, okay. So if you're taking a statin, you're ignorant, which means you're lacking knowledge about a particular thing. Okay? You're not stupid. You're not an ignoramus. You're not a moron. You're not a simpleton. I apologize if I made you think that because that's not true. You are simply ignorant. And I am here to make you unignorant. Is that a word? Okay. So now everybody laughed at me and said, no, if you eat cholesterol, your cholesterol is going to go up. I go, no. Harvard medical student eats 720 eggs in a month and then shared his fascinating results. And it says, here's what happened to my cholesterol. It went down. His metabolism skyrocketed. He lost weight. His appetite was like nothing. He had tons of energy, slept better than he had in years. His cholesterol went down. It's unbelievable. And he's like, Mr. Happy. Yeah, this calls Kevin Was Right file. All right, next. California was one of the first ignorant states to say, we have to save the planet. We have to save the trees. So let's get rid of the paper bags. Let's get plastic bags. So when you went to California in America, right? I remember like going to Des Moines, Iowa, paper bags. I go to California, plastic bags. I go, don't you have any paper? Oh no, we don't have paper. Don't you know that paper comes from trees? And we're in California. See, we're smarter than the rest of the world because we're Californians and we're trying to protect the environment. I go, well, calm down, because you're like an environmentalist Nazi. So just relax. You can have your opinion and your view, but I think the plastic may be bad. Don't be stupid! So now California is now the first state in America to ban all plastic shopping bags at grocery stores. This is the best. This is absolutely the best. They were screaming that you can't use paper bags because of the trees. Now they're screaming you can't use plastic bags because it's toxic. Kevin was right. You guys were ignorant. No, I'm going to change it. They were stupid. Okay, next. Severe obesity is on the rise in the U.S. This goes in the Kevin Was Right file. I told you back in the book, Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About 20 years ago. I said, hey, people are going to get fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter because of the food and what's in the food, all the chemicals. The number one thing I think that's causing people to get fat is high fructose corn syrup and anything to do with the word corn because it comes from Monsanto, it's genetically modified, and it's making you blow up like a balloon. That's in everything, high fructose corn syrup. That's in now sodas instead of regular sugar. They replace it with corn syrup solids, high fructose corn syrup. Anything to do with corn as a sweetener is making you blow up like a balloon. Number two, all of the wheat products in America have chemicals in it, dough conditioners. They don't have to be listed on the label. They're illegal all over the world. And the proof is now it's making you blow up like a balloon. I did a show on that. I'll do another one in the future. Someone says, Kevin, do you eat bread? I'll tell you what I like. I like pasta. But I get my pasta. It's organic pasta from Italy. Nobody comes to my house. Nobody gets bloated. Nobody feels tired after they eat the pasta. Nobody blows up like a balloon. And you can eat pasta like I do, and you don't gain weight. Rice. I love rice. My rice I get from Japan. I also get very fine, good quality jasmine rice from Thailand. That's where I get my rice because I've researched where the rice comes from. It's not genetically modified. It's not gaffed up. It's not screwed up. It's good. It's delicious. You don't blow up like a balloon. You don't gain weight. It's beautiful. And I like white rice as opposed to brown because the bran screws up your intestines. So obesity is on the rise in America. Kevin Was Right file. Chemical toxins from food processing migrate into your bodies, study says. This goes into the Kevin Was Right file. There are more than 3,600 chemicals that leach into food during the manufacturing, processing, packaging, and storage of the world's food supply, and they end up in the human body. Some are connected with serious health problems. No kidding. This is staggering. So the bottom line is, not only is the food given all these chemicals, but the processing of the food leaches all these chemicals into the food. That's why American food and food that is processed and food that is ultra-processed is absolutely horrible for your health. It's causing weight gain. It's causing cancer. It's causing diabetes. It's causing depression. It causes skin problems. Look at all the people that have these psoriasis. Are you kidding me? This didn't exist when I was a kid. There wasn't a human that I know who had anything called psoriasis. The worst thing somebody had was a little bit of dandruff. That was it. And that was only because they didn't bathe. And I'm not kidding. It was like once a week they bathed. And so, because of poor hygiene, they got some dandruff. Okay, and they had poor nutrition. Once they fixed their nutrition, and then, because I remember I had a family member that was on Head and Shoulders. And I saw the Head and Shoulders. I was over their house, and I went to the bathroom, and I saw Head and Shoulders. So I asked my parents, well, what's Head and Shoulders? Oh, well, your so-and-so has dandruff. What's that? Well, it's flaky stuff, and it gets on the thing. And I said, oh, yeah, I've seen him. He has, when he has a dark suit on, I see these white flakes. Yeah. What causes that? And I'll never forget. My mother was like going, well, he doesn't bathe. And he's probably got, he doesn't eat very well. So I says, so I learned a little bit. This was several years later. And I talked about, gently while he was in the room about bathing and about nutrition and how it could help. And I, didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable. All of a sudden, within a few weeks, no dandruff. So the point is, the toxins are in the food, in the processing of the food, in the containers that it's coming in. It's leaching into your body. But this goes in the Kevin Was Right file. It talks, everything I said in the Natural Cures book that I got attacked for. This goes in the Kevin Was Right file. Girls are starting puberty earlier due to chemical exposure. I said this in the book Natural Cures 20 years ago. I said, you're going to see boys and girls, girls are going to start their menstrual cycles much sooner because of the chemicals in the food, in the fluoride in the water, the drugs that they're taking, both pharmaceutical drugs, over-the-counter drugs, and prescription drugs, the chemicals that are in the clothes, and all of the lotions that they're putting on their body and the makeup, it's messing up their hormones. It's going to make them crazy. It's going to make them depressed. It's going to make them gain weight. And they're going to have hormone imbalances, so they're going to start their cycle much sooner. You're going to see this happen all over. And it is. And again, Kevin was right again. Microplastics found in the human brain. This goes on to talk about how there's all these microplastics now in the brain. Researchers know how it's getting there from the food that you're eating, the water you're drinking, all the chemicals you're putting on, all the lotions, shampoos, toothpaste. All this is loaded with microplastics. It's getting in your body. They know that it messes up your hormones. The researchers know that it makes you fat. They know it makes you depressed. They know it gives you psoriasis. It causes all types of skin problems, health problems, diabetes, cancer. Perfect. I want to get into the biotech industry because there's so many sick people, and every year there's going to be more and more and more and more and more and more and more sick people. Let's just produce drugs. All these idiots, ignorant people, all these ignorant people will just do whatever the doctor tells them. No, they won't. They'll go and tell the doctor to give them a drug because we can run ads on TV for drugs, and we can use sophisticated CIA mind-altering techniques of manipulation to get these people to want and desire and need that drug. Perfect. And we'll make billions. What a business. Kevin was right, File. So the bottom line is, what does all this mean? It means, listen to me. It really does. If you want to be happy, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be trim, if you don't want to be depressed, if you want to have lots of energy, sleep unbelievable. You know, I sleep all night long. I do not get up and go to the bathroom. And I say that because almost every single person I know either has a CPAP machine, I need a CPAP machine. I got sleep apnea. And they get up to go to the bathroom at least once, most of them 2 times, because they're so unhealthy. I mean, think about it. You can be as healthy as you want. You can be depression or sadness or feeling a little low. Doesn't even have to exist in your world. Never getting angry doesn't have to exist. You can have it all. And if you're dealing with a challenge, you can go through life feeling great, even though you have people that want to put you in prison. And you keep getting bad news. You just got sued again, Kevin. The FTC filed another motion. There's an emergency hearing. They want to put you in prison. How do you deal with it? You can learn how and go through life with grace and ease, knowing that everything will turn out fine in the end. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a miracle produces itself. But it doesn't change your state. The way I feel today, after the news yesterday, is the same I felt last week. I felt the same. I felt the same. And you can get to that point as well. There's just a lot of opportunity. I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you're gaining something. I hope you're increasing your awareness, increasing your consciousness, and I hope you feel better now, more so than when you started the show, knowing that you have within you everything you need. Remember, you were born to win. You were born to win. You can win. Winning is fun. Playing the game is fun, and winning is fun too. If you're going to play the game, win. And if you don't, play again. See, you were engineered for success. You were designed for accomplishment. And you were endowed with the seeds of greatness. Let it come forth. Go to KevinTrudeauFanClub.com. If you haven't given a contribution, or if you have, we got 14 days to pull this off. Your contributions are making all the difference. Give a contribution. If you're not a partner, become a partner. You can read about all the benefits you get as a partner for only $25 a month or more. There's different levels, you get more benefits. If you want the Guru Kev book, that's for a larger contribution. If you want a one-on-one video with me on Zoom, you can get one of those. We have a few left. I think we have 6 left, or 5. That's the only ones that are available. You can get that. If you want to go to the Golden Door with me for a whole week next year, you can get that. But go to KevinTrudeauFanClub.com. Join in with your support. Let's pull off a miracle in 2 weeks. I'm Kevin Trudeau. Much love to all of you. I'll see you all at the top, and I'll see you next week on Monday for another live show here on The Kevin Trudeau Show. Much love, everybody. Bye-bye.